Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, contemplations and reflective meditations. All right, welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we look and talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into daily life. Today, I'd like to start off by honoring a friend of mine who just recently passed, Georgia Warren from Central New York. She was a friend that walked her own path. And whenever I think of Georgia, I have to smile because she knew what she wanted to do in life and she did it. And now that she's on the other side, I'm sure that she's enjoying the uniqueness and the expansive qualities of life unfettered. So I really want to honor Georgia. So today, in honor of that, read something from Thomas Merton. And it goes like this. Contemplation means rest, suspension of activity, withdrawal into the mysterious interior solitude in which the soul is absorbed in the immense and fruitful silence of God and learns something of the secrets of his perfections, less by seeing than by fruitive love. So, again, I want to thank the time that I had with my friend. We will start out with this one. A harmonious flow of universal intelligence and our ability allows us to flourish and support a mind that is lighthearted, creative, loving, and self-aware. We are a part of that flow of universal intelligence. We contribute to it all the time. Those of us that are living in this life have to adapt in order to connect to that universal intelligence. And when we do, it allows us to flourish because it supports us in body, mind, and spirit. And when we're living in that fulfillment, it allows us to be lighthearted. It allows us to bring our creativity into our life. It allows us to be loving, which is the closest part of living within our true nature and being self-aware. So self-awareness is connection to that universal intelligence, that oneness, the all. It's described in so much literature and so many reflective texts about how connecting to that universal mind fulfills us and brings us to a much higher level of living. Now, I say we should go for it. We really want to do that. But in order to do that, I think we really have to speak our truth. Speak your truth. Be fair with your response and approach life genuinely. This is talking about authenticity. Be who you are, and be who you are in this life in a way that you're fair with everyone else, fair with yourself. I mean, we have to start there. We have to really start there. We have to, take a look. It's very nice at the end of the day or the beginning of the day or at some point during the day to reflect on how circumstances have come to you and how you've reacted to those circumstances in your day. But be fair with yourself. Be fair with the response that you gave. You may not have been satisfied with the way you responded to something, but that's fine. You can do better the next time. And so in that way, you always are stepping forward authentic, authentically and genuinely. To me, this is probably one of the most powerful tools uh, in our toolbox, is to live authentically. You know, in life, as a child, even we're taught to, emulate our heroes and to put on these veils of how we want people to perceive us. You know, there are times when that's okay, but most of the time we really need to take those cloaks off and walk around with just our bare self. And it's scary. It's scary at first. And I know I never did it until after my near-death experience. And then I realized how much I had shrouded myself, and people couldn't really see who the real me was. That's not living authentically. So it took a while, because I mean, those are protective layers that we've built up over the years. For every circumstance, for every situation that we go in life, we have some shroud, some cloak, some veil that we put over ourselves in order to conceal our tender heart. Well, if we realize that our heart is very strong, there's really no need to protect it in such a way. All right, I see we have some folks here, so I want to give some shout outs. Um, Charles is here. Thanks. Good morning. Gail, I'm glad to see you're here. And Mary Beth's here. Cool. For some reason, I have duplicates, so I'm not sure why that is. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. And if you want, you can make comments, and I'll try to pick them up at some point during the talk. So the next one is: aspire to a life of creative renewal that flows smoothly in the present moment, unburdened by limitations and fear. So we were talking about living authentically, but we also want to live a life that taps into our creative center, because that's where our inspiration comes from. And inspiration is another form of spiritual communication, which allows us to develop and to see new paths that are available to us. So, if we aspire to live a creative renewal that flows slowly or smoothly in the present moment, it releases us, it unburdens us by reducing the fear in life. Now, fear is something that when it grabs hold of us, it pulls us in one direction. Now, there's times when that's very helpful, when we need to run away from something. But there are other times that it burdens us, it limits us. And so to be able to release that, and creativity can help us in a lot of ways. Creativity shows us new paths, new directions to face, and allows us to look in a clear way, to see things as they are, and not so much necessarily fear them, but just to see them clearly. And when we can see clearly, it takes away a lot of that fear, because we recognize the roots of where our fear comes from. And to be able to do that is incredibly powerful, and shows us a better way of living. So when things no longer work, we must rebuild from the basic elements. What are the basic elements? Well, they're a little different for everybody. I like myself. I need a reflective time in life. Every day, I start my days in meditation and reflection and contemplation, and they help me. Now, not everybody's has a spiritual practice like that. So a lot of times, it takes a little bit of work, a little bit of concerted effort in order to establish that. But when things aren't working, you have to get back to the basics. You have to get back to your spiritual roots. You have to look at your body, mind, and spirit. Where is it in this moment, and how can I move forward? But recognize who you are in this moment. I always like to start at acceptance that this is who I am in this moment. That is going to the ultimate basic level for me. When I look at myself clearly so that I can see this is who I am, it helps me so much, because when I can accept, okay, yeah, I've got some issues I need to get past, I can start working on them. And then things start to fall in place. That's when things start to work again. Is when sometimes we get off to the side. We were talking about, putting on those veils and things like that. Well, those things pull us away from our center. They distract us. They don't allow things to work the way they're supposed to. We need that to understand who we are, because without understanding of who we are, how can we touch the grace of our true being? So I would say it's never a bad time to go inward and start with the basics all over again. In fact, it's good to do it periodically, even when things are going well, to still, look at the basics. You are energetic and creative, and your actual needs are small. This, of course, this feels very Zen, but it's very true. We really don't need, our needs are really not that small. In today's society, we tend to get caught up in the materialistic flow of things because, gosh knows, we're always being, some advertisement and somebody's philosophy or somebody's this or that or the other thing is always being, put into our face, and it tends to drive us toward a more materialistic lifestyle, which is what keeps business going. And so there's a little bit of that, but do we really need all of that? Our real needs are very small. We need love. We need to feel love. We need to express love. We need acceptance. We need to be tolerant with each other. We need truth. We need to be truthful and honest. We started out about talking about authenticity. Those are some of the deeper needs that we need in life. The rest of it is just kind of fluff, I mean, we need a roof over our head. We need stability in our life if we can maintain that. We need, some of the basics. So try to think small. Try to think small. It's not always the grandiose plan, I like things simple. I really do. To me, life is sweetest when it's simple. There's really not a great need to make life complicated. I'm not a fan of complicated life, because complication can make things tense. We intense actually. And so in stillness, we heal tension by allowing awareness to go beyond the mind and experience its fearless and peaceful nature. So we want to heal tension. We want to dissolve it away so that it no longer interferes. But this is kind of difficult because a lot of times the tension interferes with us being able to connect to our own greater awareness. So that's where stillness comes in. We need to develop our practice to be able to go into stillness and allow that peace and that tranquility to be a part of, to come out. It's not so much to be a part of, it's already there. It just needs to come forward, to bring forward that peace and tranquility and allow our awareness to go beyond just our mind, to feel that expansiveness, to experience oneness. And when we're in that place, there is no tension. The tension drains away. It just melts away, and it becomes a fearless and peaceful nature. And when we come out of stillness, we can bring that into our day-to-day life and bring that peace and bring that peaceful nature of who we truly are, of our true nature, bring that into our day-to-day life, into our walking life. And I try to do that on a daily basis. And a lot of times I start out that way. My day, I start out with this peaceful nature. And then circumstances might happen, and it may get me all tense again. And so I have to then kind of reinstill a silent moment in order to reinvigorate that peace within me and to bring it forward once again. And you may have to do that a few times during the course of a day just to maintain that. I invite you to explore what it feels like to be truly fulfilled. Explore what it feels like to be truly fulfilled. Because deep contentment is found in stillness. When we're in that place of peace and contentment and expanded awareness, there comes a deep contentment. It's almost like a sigh of relief. It's like that deep breath when you exhale and you just, it feels so good. That's contentment. That's deep contentment. And I would wish that we can all find moments of that in our lives. And to be able to bring that out of stillness and into our daily lives. Because to be content, we have to be aware, we have to take some time and we were talking about going back to the basics. We have to take a moment to examine ourselves and accept ourselves and to be tolerant of our life and the situations and the people in our lives. In order to find deep contentment, we have to live with acceptance and tolerance. We have to be authentic, and we have to walk and bring the stillness and the peace from our contemplation into our daily lives. That's how we find deep contentment, by bringing stillness into our life. So I want to thank you. Again, we had a little rocky start this morning, but we ironed it all out. A couple little glitches where my fat finger syndrome tended to make the screen go wacky for a minute here. But again, thank you, and I hope you join us next time. Namaste.